use you. I'm like, well, you can't use me because I don't do resident
Right.
anymore, but I need your advice. I'm like, well, I don't go to a doctor and ask for an x-ray and say, hey, by the way, I'm not going to use you to do my surgery, even if my whatever's broken, right?
Right.
So, it's unfortunate, but again, I think that the regulators and the industry and even the owners of certain mortgage companies and banks allowed too many people to get into the business. Same thing with real estate.
Right.
Again, it's just completely devalued the profession, devalued the brand, devalued the industry. And you know what? I realized, at an early age, mortgages weren't going to be my be-all, end-all, even with real
Right.
estate. Because, listen, when everyone's in, everyone's at the party, it's not really
Right.
like exclusive or cool anymore. I compete with the best of them knowledge-wise. I probably got more knowledge than really the majority of the people, even at, being only 32 years old. But people want to be lied to. People don't want to hear the truth. And it's kind of like goes against everything I stand for. I'd rather give somebody a full transparent approach and, have them make their educated decision. But like I said, people don't have the experience and they think they have the experience, how they usually wind up getting hurt.
Right. That's interesting because I got into real estate investment wholesaling, and I still wholesale a lot. But especially in Nashville, which I grew up in Nashville. So Nashville's a pretty hot city.
Sure.
Um,
It's booming, right?
It is. It is. I mean, it's a great town. It's fun. I love living there. But I ultimately moved to Chattanooga because the rental rates were so high that I'm starting to try to build my portfolio, and they just offer a better return. But in Nashville, the wholesaling, really all of it, investing as well, has become so competitive, and people see wholesaling as such a get-rich-quick thing that people are just dumping into Nashville and they'll start these businesses. And ultimately, as a legitimate wholesaler or landlord or rehabber, you're making offers against people who don't know what they're doing and who are never going to back up their offer anyway. And so they're going to over offer just to get it under contract. And then on top of that, there's also, the mom and pop shop that have just watched HGTV for so long that they're just like, I can do it. I'll figure it out. And, as an investor, I've had a lot of people try to sell me properties that they had got in too deep for. And it's just like, I can't make you an offer you can work with because from the beginning, you just really didn't know what you were doing. And you came in and you took a bite. You couldn't, sometimes people from California, and it's just like the real estate's so expensive there that in Tennessee, they're like, holy shit, this has to be a deal. But it's all based on the market. So
Yeah, I mean, I think I see the problem. I can tell you that I know nothing about construction. I know what looks good. I know if I walk on a floor and it's not even, right? I know like a bathroom and a kitchen, but I know business, and I can tell you that I've personally had deals where I thought I was going to make $80,000-$90,000 on a flip, and because I had to hold it for too long, or we didn't get the perfect time, or what would have been the third bedroom got knocked down, couldn't add the third bedroom, and I made $5,000, $10,000, $15,000,
right.
while carrying a $2,000 to $3,000 a month mortgage because I had a hard money fix and flip loan on it. So a lot of people are chasing different markets right now. I got people all the time, again, know-it-alls, right, that got into business in 11, 12, 13. The market's gone straight up for the past 7, 8 years. So that they're, savvy real estate investors making a killing. They got the perfect, formula. And I'm like, well, you might be right. But unfortunately, 99% of people that got into the market in the past 5, 6, 7 years have made money because the market's gone straight up.
Right.
And now people are like, oh, I want to go out of state. I want to buy in college towns. I want to do all these things. And I'm like, okay, great. So who's going to go fix the faucet in Florida when you're in New Jersey, or who's going to go, evict the tenant down there? Do you have lawyers down there? Do you have contractors down there? And they don't.
Right.
And that's where I think that the problem is going to come in. I don't think the market is in trouble. I think individuals are in trouble because they're taking unnecessary risk, So I live in North Jersey. I live in Jersey City. I can literally see, I can literally see New York City right here from my window, right? That's the World Trade Center right there. You can literally see it. I could probably throw a football 10 times and get there. But I have a property in the South Bronx that's 15 minutes away, right? But I have to go over a bridge, go through a tunnel. It takes me 45 minutes to an hour during traffic to get there. And it's a pain in the balls to manage. And I'm like, you want to go buy a property 1,000 miles away. Okay, if the property manager isn't going to rob you, you're going to lose money somehow,
Right.
And that's the thing. People just think it's so easy when it's really not. It's really not.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, my kind of how I got into it a little bit was my dad framed houses when I was young. He does small remodel jobs now. When I first got out of school, I basically worked for him for like $20 an hour, kind of messing with that stuff. And one thing I learned that it's almost made me a little more gun shy than I should be is that something's going to go wrong. There's going to be a cost you don't see. The more you cut into a house, the more something fucked up's going to